to Inspector Sheridan Hill, who is on set and ready to tell us about what's happening with the TTPS this week.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I just want to say that I found that last segment interesting. I have an autistic brother.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so that was very interesting. Today we want to talk about the powers and functions of the police. And not just that, but also some of the responsibilities that goes with those powers, as well as the responsibility of members of the public.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's start with the powers first.
Yeah, so let's start with the powers. Police officers have wide investigative powers.
Yes.
Powers to question persons, detain persons, to arrest persons. But we must do that in a responsible manner. One of the things in a responsible and professional manner, one of the questions that was raised earlier prior to me coming on the set is the issue of identification.
Yeah.
So the law is clear. If you're in plain clothes, you must identify yourself.
With a badge.
With your Trinidad and Tobago Police Service ID. And now the current commissioner and the minister, they have gone further to say that even if you're in uniform and you are asked to produce your ID, you must produce your ID.
So you can't be saying, don't ask me, I'm a policeman, none of that.
Exactly.
None of that.
And things like hiding your badge and so on. And now with the advent of the operational way, before we had the tactical, now we have the operational way, where you're not seeing the officers' numbers, and in some you're not seeing the officers' names as well, because recently we introduced a sort of ID that's on the officer's uniform with the officer's name and the officer's number. For penalties, both fines and imprisonment, terms of imprisonment.
What's the penalty now?
I can't say
okay,
offhand, but
I'll
provide you that information. So let us assume in earlier programs I talked about persons that protest, which is the popular thing. You have officers at a protest, and let's say an officer or officers, they're effecting an arrest. See those persons, apart from the obscene language and the blatant assaults, see those persons who saying, like the man, while the police are going, arrest the big fish and persons involved in drugs and so on. There's case law, local case law, that states mere words can amount to obstructing a police officer in the execution of his duty. And the public needs to be aware of this, because people continue to break the law. And some officers don't fully enforce the law for a variety of reasons. Sometimes you feel it may not escalate the situation.
Yeah.
But those persons are breaking the law.
Yeah.
Now, so we talk about powers of arrest. Police officers have wide powers of arrest. And members of the public also, you hear people talk about a citizen's arrest. So let me deal with the police, and then I'll deal with the...
So we have like 40 seconds left.
So let me deal with the police.
Yeah.
Police officers have wide powers of arrest for any offense committed within our view. That's police officers, not members of the public. For members of the public, it's for serious, what the law terms, arrestable offenses.
Like?
5 years or more, rape, murder, robberies, and so on. A citizen, yes. But of course, I want to caution members of the public, because we had an incident in the Orupun area where a crowd arrested an individual.
Yeah.
And I understand they assaulted the individual to the point where...
I'm going to keep you because this is very interesting. We're going to take a break for the news. Don't want to get cut. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation very quickly. Back in a minute after the news.
Yeah,
and before we broke for the news, you were talking to us about the powers of arrest and citizens' arrest and a particular incident that you wanted to highlight.
Yeah, when citizens are effecting an arrest, in cases of serious offenses, the force used must always be just the force that is necessary.
Yeah.
And a good example is people talk about if you find somebody in your place, you can kill them and so on. It doesn't work like that. The force used must be justified. It must only be the force that is necessary. So you can't just kill someone if you find them, sexually abusing a child and so on.
Right.
Just to also mention the penalty for assaulting a police officer in the execution of his duty. Currently, it's $10,000 and 2 years imprisonment. And also, just to clear up two things we mentioned earlier on, the issue of police officers identifying themselves and telling you of the offense that you're being arrested for. It depends on the circumstances. If a police officer sees someone, chopping or killing someone, you have to go and say, well, I am Inspector Hill, and this is my ID. He has to act. So it depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
It depends on the circumstances.
Well, Inspector Hill, thank you very much for spending time with us and staying just a few minutes after the break to just clear that up for us.
My pleasure.
You'll be back with us next week.
Definitely.
Absolutely. We're taking a few messages. Still a lot more here on the program, so stay with us.